Hey everybody, Dustin Zinger here, Investor Relations for ValOre Metals. Joining me today again is our VP Exploration, Colin Smith. And today we wanted to highlight two of the recent press releases we had from August 23rd and 26th that covered our high-grade PGE discoveries at Massape and Santo Amaro South. This stuff is really exciting for us because it's showing our discovery methodology is working, and we really feel like this train is starting to take away. So Colin, I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Dustin. Yeah, all aboard the discovery train for sure. Yeah, these are really exciting targets. I mean, as Dustin said, they reference a couple of news releases that came out on the 23rd and 26th of August, and they cover the Santo Amaro South target, which you see in the north here, and the Massape target, which is further south. Now, these really showcase, as Dustin said, how our exploration methodology, a sequential exploration methodology, is really actually working, and it's rapidly advancing targets to drill ready stage, and for the example of Santo Amaro South, actual drilling discoveries. So let's get into the actual data for a couple slides. Here's just a picture of the field area. Before we get into the maps, the access is great. We can explore and drill this thing year round, 365 days a year. So nothing is going to stop us on that front. Now, the exploration methodology, we have done a video on this before, but just to rehash that, the first thing we do is we look at whatever data is in place from historical data, and we compile that, we review it, and then we use that as a guide to conduct detailed prospecting and geological mapping. And what that does is actually set us up for follow-up Trado auger drilling. And you're seeing that the Trado crew at work here at the Santo Amaro South target. It's basically a lawnmower engine mounted on top of a steel frame that drives an auger bit, and it allows us to sample through the entire geochemical profile right down into actually the top of weathered bedrock. So we get a really, really comprehensive profile of the full geochemical anomaly if it's there. Now, further to that, we wait for the assays, and then we plan follow-up trenching. So obviously the trenching is going to be focused around or near the best Trado auger results. And then the trenching is really the last step for us to be drill ready. And once we have our trench assays back, we plan some holes. And this is what led to the drilling discovery at Santo Amaro South. In terms of where this is, as you see in the top left here, it's about 1.5 kilometers south of the Santo Amaro resource area. That's a part of our 1 million ounce resource, 43101. And it's about 203,000 ounces of that million. As I said before, we had historical data to use to guide us in terms of our preliminary prospecting and mapping. And as you see here, there's some historical soils, a little historical mapping, and a smattering of 2 drill holes, one of which was stopped at about 6 meters depth, so it really didn't test the target, and the other one was a little off trend. So the Trado returned some really compelling numbers. Anytime you're getting a gram plus or even half a gram in soils, that's a very rich sample. We were able to use those results to follow up with really detailed and targeted trenching. Got some great trenching numbers, and thus we planned some RC holes. And in particular, the third RC hole of the program yielded a 32-meter interval from surface grading 1.65 grams per ton to PGE plus gold. That's the straight summation palladium plus platinum plus gold, about 2-to-1 palladium to platinum. And as you can see in the cross section here, here's a view of the Trado hole, which returned 10 meters of 1.64 grams. So you see the reproducibility of the grade is basically bang on. It's a really, really effective tool. And because of this result in the RC hole, we're following up right now with a tight grid of extension Trado holes that are basically going to follow this along trend to the south. This is a drill ready target right here. We have 4 meters of a gram in an auger hole. So we're going to look to build some continuity and march this thing towards an inferred resource. Now, looking at the Massape target, this is further south in the project area. It's about 4 kilometers north of the Trapia resource along trend. Trapia is a part of the 1 million ounce resource. Again, about same size of Santo Amaro. It's 219,000 ounces of the million. And the exact same methodology was applied here. We had historical soils, a little bit of mapping coverage, and we used that as a guide to plan our preliminary prospecting and mapping. From that, you can see the black triangles denote where we drilled the auger holes. Not surprisingly, they're along the trend of the historical soil anomaly. And from that, we opened up 5 trenches. So over a strike length of about 800 meters. and really targeted an area of about 400 meters in strike length with the best grades. You can see the trenching numbers here, fairly impressive. And not only that, but within the two southernmost trenches, which is south of the historical drilling, returned the best grades. So this thing, the grade is increasing to the south. It's fully open along strike to the south. And, you know, there's some pretty good results in these historical holes that were just never followed up upon. So once again, the preliminary prospecting mapping, followed up with trado, followed up with trenching. This target is not yet drilled by us, but it's drill ready. We have holes planned. And a part of the expanded drill program that's ongoing, this will be prioritized for sure. So we'll look to get some results in the coming months for Massape. And now lastly, just a couple photos of the high-grade samples. These are from outcrops within the two southernmost trenches. Impressive grades. These are correlatable between these trenches. So, you know, we're seeing almost 7 grams per ton in this sample, almost 14 grams per ton in the other one. And this is correlative. So these are high-grade chromotite reef horizons, which we can connect between trenches to trenches. The 3,000 southern trenches actually can connect reefs in all of these. So fully open to the south, fully open at depth, fully open up dip, and this thing does come to surface as well. So just like most of the targets and all the deposits at Pedra Branca, this is shallow, high-grade mineralization. Back to you, Dustin.
Awesome, Colin. Thank you so much for sharing that. Everybody, again, these press releases are linked below from August 23rd and 26th, and we'll be in contact with everyone shortly.